everybody.
Howdy.
My goodness. We weren't planning on doing this, were we?
No.
Yes. First of all, that clip at the beginning was from the Photodrama of Creation Part 3. Now, these are available on YouTube. It was the 1914, one done by Russell. And as you could see on the back of one of those wise men's robe was that, I think it's a Knights Templar symbol. I'm not sure. It's kind of fuzzy, as you guys could see. But it's interesting that, they would even have that in the Photodrama of Creation, but we've got more.
Yes.
Now, first of all, I want to explain that we have a couple of friends that are ex-Masons. And I received a message from one of them, thank you, sweetie, and they sent me a link to Smurf Girl's rebuttal to John Cedars over Freemasonry, and he says, have you seen this?
Not at the time.
And so we watched it, and he told me in his message, he said, what she is saying in her video is true. Now, this friend used to be a Freemason, as his father, his grandfather, so forth, because this is kind of a legacy type deal.
Yeah. So Jehovah's Witnesses would readily identify this as, I'm a third generation Jehovah's Witness. Well, I'm a fourth generation Freemason. It's one of those type of deals.
Yeah, and he said he used to be one 10 years ago until he found Christ. But anyway, he said that everything Smurf Girl said in her video was true. Now, many of you who have been with our channel for, since the beginning know that we do a lot of research. And one day we were in a thrift store, a secondhand store, and there was a stack of books. And Mike just happened to glance down and he's like, oh my God. It was a whole stack of Freemason books, and we asked the owner, how much do you want for all of these books? And he says, $20. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Because in there was Albert Pike's
Morals and Dogma.
Morals and Dogma, which is selling for a lot of money on eBay. But there's a whole stack of books that was in that, and we haven't had a chance to read all of them. But the ones we have, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, so let's just kind of show everybody what we have. This little brochure of a reunion of Masons, fall reunion of 1949.
Of the Scottish Rite.
Yes. Also the book on symbolisms. The secret teachings of the Masonic Lodge.
As you guys can see, this was well worth the $20 we spent for this stack of books.
The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, and isn't it interesting? The symbol of Pisces, the fish, is in the hand.
Because we're in the age of Pisces right now.
The Lost Keys of Freemasonry by Manly P. Hall. Solomon's Power Brokers.
Now we also have a encyclopedia of Freemasonry that's about that thick down there on the shelf that we didn't bother to haul up here. But also a couple of years ago, or actually it's probably been about 3-4 years, on eBay, many of you, like I said, who have been with us for a while, know that I found a temple, a Freemason Temple Bible on eBay for $30 with free shipping. I thought that was a good deal too.
The Master's Reference.
Yeah.
Edition.
Yeah.
Heirloom. It's, well, I've been told by a higher authority that I better keep my cool in this particular video, but otherwise I'll be censored.
Who told you that?
You.
Oh.
Because, for somebody to do a video using Watchtower's literature to prove they're not Freemasons is a bonehead of all bonehead moves.
So if I use Watchtower literature to prove that there might be a connection, does that make me a bonehead?
No. No, because it just simply boils down to the language. It boils down to the language.
Okay, now like I said, we weren't planning on doing this video, but I've been getting a lot of phone calls, messages, people asking me questions and saying, hey, you know, you guys did some videos years ago about the Watchtower Freemason connection, you know, do you want to do a rebuttal? I don't want to do a really do a rebuttal against this regressive elder because I think Smurf Girl kind of covered all of that. But since I do have the Watchtower archives, we have that Watchtower archives, I've got a little bit of evidence. Now first I'm going to say, disclaimer here that, you know, this is just our viewpoint and take it or leave it, doesn't matter. I know there's been a lot of fighting going on in the XJW community, and guys, just be nice to one another because there is no 100% evidence or proof whether Russell was a Freemason or not. Nobody can prove that because they keep their members list secret unless somebody admits they're a Freemason, like George Washington.
Right, and here again, you have the list in my Freemason heirloom Bible of United States presidents that were Freemasons.
Yeah.
You will find their names on this particular list because they've reached the highest office attainable by a Freemason in the country United States of America. But for some little peon like Russell, you're never going to find his name on a list like this.
Well, we also know that back in the 1800s, almost everybody was a Freemason. It was kind of like a social club. And, you know, it didn't have the same stigma that, you know, it has in other times, you know, in history.
Like it does today.
Yeah. So, all we want to do with this video is just present a few facts and clear up some erroneous statements. First of all, I would like to start with Russell's pyramid that is at his grave. Now, I didn't watch this person's video, and I'm only going on what I was told. But I guess some statements were made about the pyramid at Russell's grave. Well, I'm going to use Watchtower literature to set some things straight about that. I have here the 1919 International Bible Students Souvenir Convention Report. And I'm going to put this in my Dropbox and put the link down below. On page 7, well, at the top you can see it says IBSA Convention. I'm going to be reading here on page 7, at the grave. Let's go to the fourth paragraph. The Watchtower Society burial lots in Rosemont United Cemeteries, 5 miles due north of Pittsburgh City, contain ample grave space for all the members of the Bethel family and the Pilgrims and their wives, in all more than 275 adult graves. In the exact center of the Bethel lot will be erected diagonally the pyramid-shaped monument as designed by Brother Bonet and accepted, now this is in italics, accepted by Brother Russell as the most fitting emblem for an enduring monument on the Society's burial space. The size of this structure is 9 feet across the base, and its apex stone is exactly 7 feet above the ground surface level. It rests upon a concrete foundation 5 feet deep and heavily reinforced with barbed wire, the work of Brother Bonet, who would not entrust this important task to anyone else. So we are assured the job was well done. The brother gave a full description of the securing of the rock material after fruitless attempts extending over a period of about 5 years. So it took him 5 years to... At the time, he piloted the conventionists to the cemetery and urged us to help ourselves to souvenir chips in the shop of the granite worker nearby. So here we have talking about this pyramid that was erected in this Watchtower, burial plot, but it was designed by Brother Bonet and accepted by Brother Russell. So either the Watchtower, convention report here is lying, or it's true. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
One way or the other. Now, what's interesting about this convention report is they have the drawing, but they've also got a photo here before Pastor Russell had his regular tombstone, the Laodicean messenger erected. So this was, what was originally. So like I said, I'm going to put the link down below to this. And my goodness, there's just so much here.
A lot of this we've already covered in past videos, and for me, actually, this is just redundant. I mean, there's, as far as I'm concerned, this is a close the book, drop the mic type thing, and it's like, why is somebody picking the mic up again? I just don't understand it unless it's just for, crying for attention.
Like going down in the basement and crying when...
Skipping a meal too?
And somebody says,
I won't come out for dinner until everybody agrees with me 100%.
Now I want to play a clip here. This is from the 2015 September JW broadcast.
When I was going to school then and living in Manhattan, I was going to the meetings. There was only one meeting at that time for all the brothers throughout the whole metropolitan area, inside and outside the city, in a rented hall in the Masonic Temple that's still down here in Lafayette Avenue. It was the New York Church of International Bible Students.
Now I know many have done, videos about, Jehovah's Witnesses, the International Bible Students meeting in these Masonic temples. And there's a lot of, information that this was going on. Well, as you can see from, the JW broadcast, they even admit they were meeting in Masonic temples. So I've asked our friend, can anybody off the street just go rent a Masonic temple? So, I'm anxious to see what he's going to answer back.
Just about bet the answer's no.
Yeah, but I know even Dallas, Canada has done a few, and there's even one here, as you can see, the International Bible Students had a convention at the Masonic temple. And here in the August 15th, 1908 Watchtower, our Western Convention tour. Second column, first paragraph. They're talking about Russell's tour, doing these speeches and stuff. And it says, Dallas, Texas was reached in season for a Saturday morning discourse to the interested. The session had already started with a testimony meeting, and a dedication awaited our train and escorted us to the Maccabees Temple.
What was that? The Maccabees Temple?
Yeah. Now, what's interesting about the Maccabees, Michael's going to be doing a video about Maccabees, so remember that name. But there seems to be a connection between the Maccabees and the Knights Templar, because in our Beast we have a book from 1842, that is the Templars and the Maccabean Temple.
Wait a minute.
Read that.
Wait a minute. I thought the temple belonged to Yahweh. I thought the temple belonged to Jehovah. What's this with the Maccabee Temple? I mean, guys, this is unplanned. This is unscripted right now. So it's like, holy crap! Do you realize that I'm doing other studies, other researches, and now with this stuff, it's like there's another dot connected.
Yeah. Now, before we get into this other stuff, since we're talking about Maccabees and Templars, I just want to mention that, I mean, the connections. I don't know if Watchtower planned it this way. I have no idea. But I just find it a little curious. that Watchtower's new London branch in Chelmsford, the Temple Farms. Did it ever dawn on any of you why it's called the Temple Farms? Well, I did a Google search, and this is what came up. Planning, and I'll put the link down below, planning.chelmsford.gov UK. This is the planning and zoning of the new Temple Farms area. And there are 5 pages here that they have. And like I said, this is the UK government website. But they're talking about the historical site at Temple Farms / Baker's Lane. There's a map here that was drawn from the 1600s. Now when you scroll down to page 2, it says Templars. Extract from the history and topography of the county of Essex. Hanningfield Temple is so called from its having formerly belonged to the Knights Hanning Templars. So, I mean, there is a Templar connection. But anyway, it's just showing a connection with the Templars on this historic site. And they say that there may be something there, you know, but they just haven't had the archaeological, you know, digging done. So, you know, I just find it interesting that there's a history with the Templars on this exact spot. Like I said, I don't know if Watchtower knew this, if they planned it that way. I have no idea.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just showing a fact. Now, getting back to the photodrama of creation, let me show you this clip.
To be testified to all in due time, the humbling of the Logos to take human nature.
Do they look similar to you guys? It's the same picture. Now remember, this is from our Freemason Bible. The date of this Bible is 1942, I believe.
Yes, I believe it is. I don't remember for sure, but you know, the point being, you're not going to find Russell's name on a list proving conclusively they were Freemasons. It's all in the artwork, it's in the symbology, and it's in the theocratic language. Because when you start reading all of this stuff regarding Freemasonry, the language is not so peculiar to Jehovah's Witnesses. As a Jehovah's Witness, you don't understand that this secret language of Freemasonry is the theocratic language. It's not till you leave and you start reading this stuff, it's like, oh my God, it's like I'm sitting right back in the Kingdom Hall again, learning the theocratic language all over again. So you got to wonder if there's not people trying to protect the theocratic language out there.
Well, for an example, I've got a couple of black editions of Russell's Study in the Scriptures, and many don't know about the black edition, but it's called the Millennial Dawn. Now when you start looking at words like Millennial Dawn, Golden Age, which was the name of the Awake before it was the Awake, Golden Age, New World Order. See, that's why they had to get rid of that phrase New World Order in recent literature, because years ago, you know, even when Mike and I were kids, they used that term, oh, you know, paradise is going to be the New World Order. Well, they had to get rid of that because they were being associated with the Freemasons and, you know, the elitists, the powers to be in this world.
Too much was being exposed.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. Too much got exposed. I mean, you talk about theocratic language. I'm going to read from this little booklet regarding this fall reunion just one little sentence and see if you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses cannot recognize the theocratic language. Step by step, man must advance towards perfection, and each Masonic degree is meant to be one of those steps. Wait a minute. Isn't the whole concept of the 1,000-year reign of Christ to bring mankind to what? Perfection. It's in the language. It's in the artwork.
Now we're going to share something from Albert Pike's book here, Morals and Dogma.
Yes, Morals and Dogma.
And Dogma, page 104. Now I know the PDF is available online for this, but we thought this was very interesting. It's the last paragraph on page 104.
Yes, and as I read this, I want everybody to listen real closely to to how deep this mind screw really goes, because that's what it is. It's a mind screw by
and
some
see
of these
if you
people.
can't see, a connection with Watchtower.
Masonry, like all the religions, all the mysteries, Hermeticism, and alchemy, conceals its secrets from all except the adept and sages, or the elect, and use false explanations and misinterpretations of its symbols to mislead those who deserve only to be misled.
AKA the rank and file.
Well, not only that. Do you guys recall the video we uploaded yesterday from the Montana Supreme Court? How that Jehovah's Witness, it's on a need-to-know basis. Do you see how he was misleading the interpretation of Proverbs about the confidentiality? Because these idiots, the Jehovah's Witness idiots, don't realize that they're misleading. Oh no, they do realize they are purposely misleading the judges on that Supreme Court.
Well, it's called theocratic warfare.
Well, exactly, because it's a theocratic language.
They even admit it in their literature.
Going on, to conceal the truth, which it calls light. Hey, brothers and sisters, we got new light. We got new light, guys. Guess what? Jehovah is doing this now. It's new light.
Well, they're laughing at the rank and file behind the scenes because they know.
From them, and to draw them away from it. Truth is not for those who are unworthy or unable to receive it, or would pervert it. So God himself incapacitates many men by color blindness to distinguish colors, and leads the masses away from the highest truth, giving them the power to attain only so much of it as it is profitable to them to know. Every age has had a religion suited to its capacity. Now when it says every age, guys, I know what this means. It's the age that's related to zodiacs. The age. Next paragraph. The teachers, even of Christianity, are in general the most ignorant of the true meaning of that which they teach. There is no book of which so little is known as the Bible. Interesting, coming from Albert Pike, isn't it? To most who read it, it is as incomprehensible as the Zohar. So Masonry jealously conceals its secrets and intentionally leads conceited interpreters astray. You can't get any more plainer than that, friends. But the most disturbing thing in these phrases is the teachers, even of Christianity, are in general the most ignorant of the true meaning of that which they teach. There is no book of which so little is known as the Bible. And that's why we get bashed for exposing some of these things about the Bible. It's almost like It's almost like we got to protect the theocratic language at all cost.
So thank you for watching, and like I said, there's no way to prove 100% one way or the other, but we hope this clears up and corrects some erroneous, misconceptions. And you can go to our channel in the search box, just put Freemasons, and we've actually done several videos, about this.
Yeah.
And we know, Russell had a thing about pyramids. Everything he taught was about pyramids and it being the altar to God's kingdom.
That's right.
So, anyway. But thank you, everybody, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.